All right, the voices in my ears are telling me that we have gone live. Good evening, RPG Limit Break. My name is Woat, and I believe I have the mysterious shadow Mr. T slash MRT slash Mart joining me in the booth.
I am, Woat. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing pretty well because we have a very interesting party combination. This is a forced party, and these runners have wound up with two black mages, a fighter, and a thief. And you want to give the rundown real quick of what we're looking at in terms of blessings?
Sure. I mean, they're on screen, but, for those who, may have visual impairments. The fire has plus 20 strength, plus 15 vitality, with a minus 10 to agility. So our fighters are going to be hitting hard and having more HP than they already need. They already have enough of it. The thieves are able to equip the forehammer, can wear red mage armor, so our thieves might not, our thieves will have some more, absorbed to them than normal, at least until if we promote. At the cost of minus 5 luck, which probably isn't the end of the world. And then the black mages have plus 10 hit percentage, plus 20 vitality at the cost of 20 starting HP. So they're gonna have like, what? 5 HP to start?
Yeah.
5.
So yeah, basically we've got a nice beefy party that is basically going to be playing rocket tag, because, first of all, we have to find the tail, and second of all, we have to actually hope that some good white magic lands in, one of, 10 slots? No, 9 slots.
Yeah, because we got 3 at all 1, all 4, and then 2.
Yeah. So... But yeah, so overall, this should be interesting. We are going into this is game 4 of a best of 5 series. Ganon's Gone Wild is up 1 game on Wildham, so 2 to Ganon's Gone Wild, 1 to Wildham. Wildham is going to need to win this to force the game 5 and take the tournament. But this is also a Woat special, so anything can happen.
Yep.
But we are off, and we are going to go ahead and peep the white magic, and...
Of course, wall rolls second slot. It's only second slot.
At least we'll save money on pures.
I guess.
But, oh god, that black magic.
Ugh. I mean, we got stop and hold.
You know it's bad when you see someone buying hold.
We don't have hammers. Oh well. We at least, with how little the magic we have, we can at least probably afford a saber and a knife.
Yeah. I mean, the black mage does have that plus 10 hit percent out the gate. You could toss one of those, you could toss a couple of knives on the black mage, and honestly, I'm not sure it would be too much worse than having them cast fire or ice. Not gonna lie.
Probably not. Yeah, it actually makes me wonder, with the plus 20 vitality, are they actually going to end up with 4 HP in the thief?
I think... Okay, here's the thing, is I believe the thief gets more, like, special HP up levels than the black mage does.
True.
That's gonna keep the thief a little bit ahead, but it is gonna be closer than you normally see. Like, these black mages will probably be flirting with 300 HP without too much trouble. But that is flame armor.
That's some nice early absorb for the fighter. Wildham's struggling the menu a bit.
It's fine.
Yeah,
the nice thing about that flame armor too is if we do find that tail, you've got that hand-me-down ready to go to your ninja.
Yep.
Let's see. Ooh,
nice bit of cash.
Yeah, 13 to 14k there, so we'll have the money to get properly geared up between Provoca and Canaria.
Yep. And we probably even have enough money for spells for all the way through until Elfland.
Maybe level 3. Level 4 tends to roll just high enough to where we probably can't get everything we want.
Yeah. Alright, does Garland have a script? Oh, he has cremate. Oh, no. I am all too familiar with this.
I mean, we have stop.
Yeah, true. Just get turn order. Oh, and Expert.
I wouldn't have resistances anyway.
Well, no, we have ice resistance. Flame armor.
Okay, a fair point, but either way, we have 2 dead garlands, and we have picked up a canal and a slab. So...
Nothing immediately useful. We have cloth plus 4.
Useful, but, oh, hey, okay, so we've got +4 cloth available, we've got +3 iron helmets, silver bracelets, +2 iron gauntlets. Yeah, you can just go ahead and kit this party up if you really want to spend the money and not have to worry about hitting another armor shop, really.
Yeah, really.
Any other upgrades you want, you're gonna find.
Yep, and we got some very cheap pence and heals.
Yeah, I take that back. We probably will at least want to keep checking armor shops until we find the pro rings, but...
True. And maybe gold bracelets. I don't know.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Honestly, that cloth plus 4 will probably get the Black Mages free until the end of the game. We'll probably pick up a free gold bracelets we find.
I mean, it's one of those things, the way this party's set up, any situation where your Black Mages are going to need that extra absorb, you are already in trouble. Because something's living long enough to hit the Black Mages.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with how bad the magic is currently, we might.
Yeah, to answer the question, chat, base absorb on cloth is 1. With that +4, that brings it up to a tidy little 9 absorb.
So yeah, the silver bracelets still have more absorb. Oh, Bane, Lock 2. Oh boy.
At least we have something to kill the pirates with that isn't punching them.
Yeah, I just said we're not just stabbing them with the +1 daggers we hopefully maybe bought.
And I mean the early Lock 2 is not bad.
Yeah.
I think we did also get a chance to peep level 2 white. Did we? Or did they just check black and move on?
I didn't see them check white.
Okay.
Well, apparently one of them did. One of them did.
Yeah. Fade, heal 2, and I believe we also have Expert at level 2 white magic, so...
Wow, these...
Get it? Go ahead.
3 pirates surviving the first cast of Bane. That's a thing. They have like no MDF. How is this happening?
But we do get a shiny rock from the pirates, and also that is +3 chain and and pro rings -2. So that's still good hand armor from the pro rings, and that +3 chain, that's what, 21 absorb? That's
Something
gonna
like
carry. Yeah, that you're good on that thief pretty much until you get class promotion with that.
Yeah, +4. Yeah. Of course, of course. If the wood armor actually rolls something decent of +4, the thief's able to equip, other armor that's better.
In all fairness, I tend to roll good wood armor a lot for some weird reason. And hey, that's a silver helmet that we're not going to be keeping.
And Vicky had M. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is the pirates had a shiny rock, so... Let's see if the shiny rock turns into explosives tonight.
Lazy dwarves? I'm always up for lazy dwarves.
I am also a fan of lazy dwarves. Especially when it's a situation where you don't already have a, warp or exit, so you have no choice but to walk out of the dwarf cave.
Nope, it's a canoe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll find, TNT was lost in the ice cave. Oh. Well, Wildham just smited that hooray dwarf out of the way.
Yeah. But yeah, so... this is one of the interesting branch points in this tournament. Do both runners go straight into Marsh, or do one of them go, I'm gonna go look at the spells over in Elfland before I commit to the Marsh play?
Yeah, I would probably, with how much money, well actually how much money do we have left? We did buy a lot of gear.
I think we're still sitting on like on several thousand.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably at least dip in and check level 3 magic at least. Yeah, see if we get warp just to, you know, maybe make Marsh easier. And we're kind of lacking any good AoE spell for Marsh. We have Bane, which I think, what, the Scums and Mucks resist it?
I'm gonna be honest with you on this one. I never remember what the slime enemies are weak to. I just kind of throw things at them until they die. But,
Well, I know all the undead won't be affected by it. Ooh,
oh yeah! But it looks like Ganon's Gone Wild and wildham are both resorting to the tactic of, I don't need sweeper spells if I never fight anything.
Sure.
And that is a red dragon that is runnable, and, well, tonight you're rewarded for going to Marsh before Elfland.
That we are.
Routing efficiency. Which, of course, means that the Elf Prince is going to give us the crystal.
Yup.
Like, I'm going to go ahead and just call it now. That herb is going to turn into either the crystal or the TNT, and we're going to see some divergence.
Yeah, and then whatever it turns into will turn to the other, and then who knows where we go from there. Bert Reynolds point out that red dragons are weak to poison. That they are, but also red dragons have like 200 magic defense. So
yeah.
Have fun. I've tried and have failed to brack several red dragons in my time playing FFR.
Yep. But Ganon's Gone Wild is going to be our first runner out of Marsh Haven on his way over to glorious, wonderful Elfland, where we will finish filling out our first 4 levels of spells, at least knowing what we have at our disposal. Yeah. And then we'll know just how bad the seed's going to turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ganon did find a chest worth like 12,000 gold while he was down on Mars, so that like resupplied our money.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that's slower. And we already have the canoe, so...
Oh boy. We've rolled a check. Oh, there's warp.
Okay. Before you say anything, I would like to point out that the last 2 times I've rolled a seed that had us airborne in 15 minutes, they wound up running like an hour and a half. So just because I give them the airship does not make it a jet seed.
True.
It just means that something even worse is waiting in the shadows.
Yeah.
Alright, Elfland Armor Shop is garbage. The item shop is just houses. Let's get a good look at some of this magic.
Oh, there's Ice 3, and Brack, and Cake.
Yeah.
Too bad we're kind of out of money.
Yeah, we don't even need to worry about Confused tonight, because we already have a hold.
Yup.
You know, in case someone goes for the cheeky early carry play. But yeah, neither runner is going to look at white magic, but we do know what else is out there, so just for everyone's enlightenment, Heal 3 and Life 2 were level 4 white magic.
Meanwhile, Ganon sold one of his pro rings to buy the second Black Mage Brack.
Fine, he's got an airship and he knows where they are. He can just fly back and get it when he has more money.
True. Also, apparently we saw Lamp.
Lamp. Yeah, that actually is going to be night learnable. Are they going to go back to pick it up? No. Also, GGW remembering that the fastest way over to Recon Desert from Elfland is to cut through that swamp that you never go into otherwise.
Yep. So what really is the point?
But we are here in Crescent, and
buying some gloves.
+3 gloves, that's... Like, if you're not concerned about getting that pro ring resistance on anyone right away, like, that's actually about as good as the pro rings are with that -2.
Yep.
I think gloves are +5 and pro rings are +6 absorb.
Let's see here. As I know the rules are different for other pieces of armor that isn't body armor. I think
Body
it's only
armor,
+1
it's...
per...
Yeah, body
Yeah.
armor, it's 1-to-1, and I believe gloves are base 1, so...
Yeah.
Oh no, it's 4 absorb on the gloves, I thought it was 5,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 absorb on the gloves versus 6 absorb on the pro rings, but the pro rings give you death resist, so...
Yeah, and the pro rings will weigh a bit more. Not that weight really does anything, but we have Oxyale.
Yep. So let's see here. As of right now, we have that gives us access to Sea Shrine.
Yep.
We can go ahead and find Volcano if we want.
Mm-hmm.
We have no loose items so far.
Yep. In the world, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of places where we can find loose.
Yeah.
We also had Temper at level 6. Which isn't the best.
And the tigers apparently are turning people to stone. Alright.
Huh, interesting. Resetting out of that 18 grand?
He's got access to Cardia if he if he needs it.
Now, it looks like we're going to Earth? Question mark.
Alright,
Let's check the grind.
Yeah, checking the tiles here in case we need to do some grinding, which... in all honesty, we may see a situation where at least one of these runners opts to pick up some easy levels.
Especially when we find an eye.
Yeah, especially with eyes right here. So, for folks who are familiar with the game, like, wait, there's only supposed to be one forced encounter tile in this little part of Earth Cave. Funny story that we only figured out when we started moving the forced encounters around. It turns out there's actually 2 different tiles in the Hall of Giants that are just both assigned to to the same formation, or at least like formations with the same enemies in them. So Hall of Giants actually can have 2 completely different encounters in it, which makes Earth Cave a great place to check if you're trying to find like where your grind tiles are likely to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we got Fast over in Melmond. I don't know if we called that one out. And Lit 3, so we do at least know where our Fast and Tempers are, and not the best. Not the worst, but not the best.
Yeah, I think Wildham's the first one into Melmond.
Yep. Yeah, look at the tracker, that would make sense. He's got his slab translate, and Ganon's Gone Wild doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like we're flying south.
Yep.
Oh, where are we going?
I just on a little bit of a, Alright, yeah, we're heading over to the Cardia Island. So Wildham gonna go for some of these loose items, and also presumably looking for some
Cash.
gear self-moving, yeah.
Yeah, get gear, cash, yeah. A bit more than that. It looks like Gangon Wild has paused his grinding.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to pick up... Yeah, just pick up some levels so he can use some of those,
warps. Ooh, Warple +4.
Yeah.
We actually have a good butter knife.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be nice, especially if either the katana rolls low or we just don't see it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, the, yeah, no, if I had to guess, Ganon's Gone Wild probably just picked up enough levels to where he could use some of those sweepers with a little bit of impunity.
Yeah. Ooh, caps +4. We're just finding all of the low kind of trash gear up, though. But, you know, gloves and caps, it's about the only thing the Black Mages can equip for those are Sergeant Pro Rings and ribbons.
3 Opal Shield. That's gonna be nice on a night.
Yep. And I mean, ooh,
Eh,
loose key.
Loose key. Alright. So
Uh,
that opens up a few more possibilities for our other loose item is.
Please be in TFC. Just cause. I mean, Vorpal plus 4 is totally a viable endgame sword. True, we do need to find tail first.
Because unfortunately, no one can swing that Vorpal at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, you're running a fire party, so you're probably like, unless of course, you know, like maybe we finally get a Mazda somewhere, we'll probably end up getting tail somewhere.
Yeah, Amasa or like, you know, a Sun Sword plus 4.
Yeah. Especially as twins.
Go ahead.
No, I was just reading how it got. Yeah, we do have plus 20 strength, which, if I remember right, strength doesn't do that much to damage.
It does it does enough to where that makes a difference.
Yeah, like, I think plus 20 is when it really starts making a difference. Like, plus 10 strength's kind of...
So I'm just going to go ahead and point this out. This may be a likely divergence point here. Wildham's gone ahead and checked Lefane and pulled the crown out of it. Now, Ganon's Gone Wild may go ahead and do Lefane. It looks like that's where he's heading. But, no, okay.
No.
Yeah, he's off to Ordeal. So, and that's why I said this. A lot of runners do not like doing Lefane until they have to.
Yeah, because it's just a long walk.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where if that crown leads to, say, our rod or our chime...
Or cube.
Yeah, or even our loot. Like, especially the loot. Like, if this crown leads to the loot, say, that could make a big difference, because there is no telling when Ganon's Gone Wild is going to go to Lefane if he's thinking, I'm not going to do Lefane for a while.
Yeah. Nope. Meanwhile.
Yeah. But yeah.
Meanwhile, Ordeals.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but Ganon's Gone Wild, I think, already has a pretty good feel for this encounter table, because he burned off, it looked like 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, something like that. And Wildham's going to Ice Cave.
Going to Ice Cave. Looks like he's gonna skip out on Gaia, like, until he's got the bottle, which makes sense.
Unless, of course, the ball ends up being for sale there.
Yeah.
It's always the worst way. You're like, I don't want the balls, I don't want to go to Gaia, but then it's just being Gaia the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the insidious things about randomizers in general, is you get into those situations. That's a heal 2 axe that we just found in Ordeals. But yeah, you get into these situations where you try to avoid double dipping,
Yeah.
but there are some places where, you know, the thing that you're trying to find before you go in is there.
Yeah. This is why I like the instead of be behind the rod in Earth. Because it's always a feels bad when you go to Earth without it, and it's just... And then you have to walk back out with the instead of beforehand. Unless, of course, it's the rod that you just finish it. Ooh, a ribbon Ordeals.
Yeah. Alright, so Wildham probably just going to use the warp trick here. Unless he's really looking to pick up some equipment.
Yeah. And we got a cube in Ordeals.
And we get a crystal from Ice Cave. Oh no, Wildham gonna go ahead and dig a little bit deeper. I would assume probably going to check the
6-pack.
6 chests. Yeah, check the great chests. Maybe check the triple chests near the stairs. Ooh. So, speaking of things we can swing through the middle game, that +3 ice sword in the hands of a fighter, that should do work until we find the tail. And honestly, if we don't find the tail, or any better okay, the slimes have lit 2.
Yep. Yeah, those slimes are...
Yeah. So, alright, Ganon's Gone Wild is heading to Lefane, so that brief divert. So now the divergence has swung in Ganon's favor, because now we know Wildham has to go do that ordeals.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the real question I have for you, Shadow, because you're a bit more comfy racing than I am.
Are you sure about that?
I am positive, because I hate racing. But yeah. So here's my question. You're in Wildham's shoes. You just saw that Ice Sword +3. But you also took a wipe immediately after getting it. You're playing for your tournament life right now. Do you go all the way back down, or do you just collect the crystal and get out?
Oh, that's tough. And okay. So I was going to say something interesting that Wildham could do to kind of knock out two birds with one stone, depending on how many warp charges we have. Drop down like the hole he did. Go grab the ice orb and then warp back and just go, warp, warp, warp.
Yeah, and yeah, chat pointing out that I forgot we also did find an Unviz shirt in there, so...
Oh yeah, that we did.
Yeah, Wild's gonna at least crack these chests.
Yeah, and we can check the bomb chest safely here. We probably... Ooh, an Aegis shield.
Yeah, -3, but it's still good resistance.
Yep.
Alright, so skipping on the one that was guarded by that spike tile, because you don't want none of that, but...
Yeah, no, we don't have any fire magic. Those slimes are not gonna die anytime soon.
Yeah, so... This is still interesting, because I don't think Ganon's Gone Wild has seen, like, any good weapons for this fighter. I think the best thing we've seen is, like, maybe that heal axe?
I think it rolled minus, though.
Yeah, it rolled minus, but, I mean, like,
Yeah.
the white axe is still a mid-20s weapon.
Yeah, but meanwhile, while we were talking about, Wildham dipping Ice Cave, apparently Gan stopped by Gaia, bought a rod from the shop.
And yeah, just to clarify, since it came up in chat, they have the Vorpal, but yeah, I meant pre-promotion, because the tail is an interesting key item, because it doesn't lock anything that's mandatory. So, for example, that tail could be buried somewhere in Volcano or Sea Shrine. And these runners may skip over the chest, or maybe in go mode before they get there, and so like part of the calculus that goes into, hey, that's nice, armor +1, nice. Part of the calculus that goes into like go mode in Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer is, do I have the tools that I need to finish this game? And so if you have everything you need without promoting, you can fade the tail. So that's why that's why we're talking so much about this Ice Sword +3. That is an in-game weapon.
So as you said earlier about that crown turning to the loot, it does just through TNT.
Was I going robotic there for a second, Shadow?
You were just a tiny bit.
Okay, my apologies. But yeah, so that's the, So, but that's kind of what we're talking about, is like, Ganon's Gone Wild hasn't really found anything that he can use without promoting, so, unless he finds the other Ice Sword, or, like, the Sun Sword rolls high, or he finds the Masamune, like, those are his outs at the moment, unless, he finds the tail in his path.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're checking Canary Locked, and we found some dragon armor. That'll be nice once we find Tail, if we do.
Yeah. We did also pick up that loot from Narek through the TNT from Astos. So, so Wildham, getting a lot of checks done really quickly. We know that Ganon's Gone Wild has everything he needs to eventually make all the... Well...
Oh, there's a dud.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those things, we're still not seeing a lot of heavy divergence. Well, okay, we are seeing divergence. Gan's Gone Wild going ahead and doing a Fiend Dungeon. Wildham kind of needing to play catch-up because of having to kind of make those 2 dives into ice.
Yeah.
But, again, it's one of those things, that ice sword could be a difference maker.
Yeah, yeah. Which would be interesting, because yeah, ice plus 3, yeah, it's decent, and we do know where fast and temper is, so we are able to buff it probably enough, depending on how many ults we get on those black mages, to probably get through.
Gan's Gone Wild, showing off the fact that Lich, for all of the threat and menace he has in vanilla, is kind of not very heavily respected by the community here.
No. Vanilla Lich, respect. Randomizer Lich, no. It's a speed bump.
I mean, to be fair, it helps that we actually have the experience, like, gain to do something about it.
True.
Because, I mean, part of what the intimidation factor on Lich 1 and vanilla is, you know, you're either spending 4 hours leveling or you're coming in here woefully underpowered.
Yeah.
But either way, Ganon's Gone Wild is through Lich 1 and is going to light our first orb of the match at a little under the 21-minute mark. Or is that 29-minute?
We're about at 29.
That 8 looked like a 0 to me, but either way, it looks like Ganon's Gone Wild might be going back in for those eyes.
It does look like that. Orb.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. So, we know that the first 4 levels of black magic don't really have anything that you care about getting on your ninja. Like Warp. That's Warp and Lock 2 are about the only things that you might want for the ninja. Maybe Brack if you need to do something stupidly cheeky. We know that the Knight's magic's useless, aside from, you know, if you want to throw fades at things.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to just go ahead, get your party up to levels that you like, you're not missing out on anything, because, again, for folks who are unfamiliar with how the game works in terms of promotion, you don't start gaining spell charges on the Knight and Ninja until level 15. And then you gain an additional spell charge up until you reach the cap of 4 every odd level thereafter. If you class change after level 15, you get your first charge on your next odd level, and then, you know, every odd level after that you get another charge. So, the higher level you are before promotion, the less charges you're going to get on that Knight and that Ninja. So it's one of those things you generally want to limit your level gain if you are going to be relying on those, but we're not going to be relying on the Knight Ninja's magic this seed, so Gan's Gone Wild is safe to pick up some levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while I was blabbing about that, GGW is back on the warpath, heading somewhere, and Wildham has collected his cube.
Yeah, I think he's saying the sky.
Ah,
we have cube.
That's true. Sky, 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 sky.
I'm surprised we didn't like have any chanting in chat.
It's coming.
Yeah, there it is.
And Gan's Gone Wild gonna go ahead and look around, see what the desert encounters look like. I don't know, I feel like if you have an eye grind, like, right there at the entrance of Earth Cave, you don't need the Tyros or the T-Rexes.
Yeah, no, not really. We got a route versus Wildham's going up towards Waterfall and Sea Shrine.
Well, remember, he doesn't know where that rod is yet, because he didn't go into Gaia, so... he's presumably looking for the bottle, which... Fortunately for him, unless the bottle is here in Sky, like, he's going to find it before, like, he needs that rod.
Yeah.
And if the rod is in sky, or if the bottle is in sky, sorry, Wildham, when you watch this back, I didn't mean to do that to you.
It looks like he's heading towards C first. Well, I guess he's checking
the item shop. Because, yeah. Alright, so he knows now that the vendor item is in Gaia.
Yeah.
So, at the very least, if he doesn't find the bottle here, he'll probably at least know, okay, I should probably go check Gaia. So it's not the end of the world if the bottle is here in sky for him. It looks like Wildham's opting to keep his thief down.
Huh.
I don't hate it. Alright.
We got tail.
There's the tail. Alright, so the reason I'm saying I don't hate it. Right now, Wildham has one good weapon, that +4 Vorpal. And then that Ice +3 is...
a nice backup.
Nice backup. The point being, though, that, like, right now, A, he doesn't know if he's going to find the tail, and B, if he doesn't find the tail, he needs every single level he can stack on this fighter. So, this may be a deliberate choice to make sure that that fighter can make that Ice +3 work in Topher.
Yeah.
Also, Hate in chat pointing out, shoutouts to Hate for handling the restream, that at this point we know that we're probably going to be getting the Saber Bonk, the Ruse Stick, or the bottle out of this robot. Probably, I mean, we are. So, Bottle's going to push Wildham to go ahead and go collect that rod once he's done here in C. The only problem is he's going to be looking for a loose item.
That is only going to lead to the other item.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things in this tournament we've seen that actually matter, where one runner hits go mode before the other one does. Oh wow, this is okay.
A bit of a nasty seafood party flyer right there.
Hey, one of the black mages survived. That's all he needs to get out of here without having to fight them. But that is also good intel for. Oh hey, it's winnable.
We ran. No,
oh, we saw it. We saw it.
True.
We at least got to see the war mech. It's okay.
True.
All right. So there's our ruse stick. So, all right. But I was gonna say though, we've seen this come up in this tournament, where one runner hits go mode and skips out on the loose item that was one of our buffing items, and the other runner doesn't, and that winds up coming into play later. And yeah, chat. Going ahead and reasoning out that our bottle is loose somewhere in the world, and that's going to lead to our Saber Bonk. So, if Wild goes digging in C and the bottle's here, and he pulls that out, Ganon's Gone Wild is never going to see the is never going to see that Saber Gauntlet ever. Yeah. And I'm not even sure that Ganon's Gone Wild's. He'll probably get the Ruse Stick, depending on A, how he routes this, and B, if he reasons out that there's a chance that the waterfall, if he reasons out there's a good chance the waterfall has one of his buff items.
Yeah, and it's not that long of a walk to get in there. And we have warp to warp out.
Yeah, it's more the walk, but, Gan's Gone Wild going ahead and torpedoing my speculation by going over to Waterfall and Onrack. So he'll be getting his Ruse Stick.
Mm-hmm. That poor ninja just... Oh, never mind. We're gonna be swinging the X scale -3. Okay. I was gonna say, that poor ninja all it has is a small knife.
Yeah.
But it has the Vorpal now. Oh, looks like we're going... okay, we're going to Res.
And it may have just been that Wildham forgot that he needed to revive the thief and just kind of rolled with it. But all right,
Huh.
Wildham has the rod.
Hang towards, or by the looks of it.
Yeah, nah, this is the sensible play, because if nothing else, he now knows how savage that sea shrine potentially is with that seafood party platter.
Yeah, he did do anything to him, or was it just smacking really hard?
I don't know. All I know is that he was in some serious trouble after one round.
Yeah.
So, but chat is pointing something out. It's specifically our tracker, JLo7. Wildham will be in go mode because he already has his loot. Ganon's Gone Wild hasn't followed that crown yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And this is... So, Ganon's Gone Wild is a very good runner. I doubt he has forgotten he has the crown. But I've also seen very good runners forget they have, like... Given when he got the crown and what he's been doing since then, there is a non-zero chance he's memory hold the crown. I'm not saying he has. He may just be routing, like, to turn it in when he just gets back to that neck of the woods.
Yeah. Maybe once he heads towards a volcano.
Yeah. So it's possible that he's just held off on that, but there is the fact that he hasn't turned in that crown yet. If he goes into C and starts opening boxes, I'll have a sneaking suspicion he at least forgot about the crown for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing you see a lot of runners in this tournament doing, where they're going to do every turn-in they can before they start looking for the other loose item.
Yeah.
But in any case, Wildham has his chime, does check the rest of the room and finds that X-Cal. He should be aware now he's in go mode. Which means they also say, you know what? The Saber Gauntlet is a nice to have, but I've got Temper. I can make this work with Temper and Fast.
It'll be interesting to see when he gets to Sky if he checks the incentive box.
He'll check the incentive box.
Yeah, probably.
Because at this point he knows it's either the bottle leading to the tail, which he would like, it's the bottle leading to the Saber Gauntlet, which not great, but doable with the setup he has. Or it's the tail. Like, basically, he knows that anything that he gets out of that box is going to help. Because it's either the tail and he can promote, or it's gonna lead to his Saber Gauntlet, and he really, really wants a Saber Gauntlet if he can't promote.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gan's checking some boxes, which kind of concerns. Might be a bit concerning.
Yeah, but then that's what I was saying is Ganon's Gone Wild. If he doesn't recall that he never turned in his crown, this could cost him a little bit of time here in C. And yeah, Wildham's fighter got put to sleep, so had to just blast Lich down. But this will be the floor that tells the story. Yeah, Ganon's Gone Wild opening boxes, so...
Oh, there's the bottle.
There's the bottle, so...
We can now stop opening boxes.
This is true. So there is a non-zero chance Wildham might find that bottle if he opts to crack inside and just decides to be a little bit greedy. And there's a Masa, -2.
Still better than that X-Cal.
Yeah. Honestly,
A lot of things are better than X-Cal.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just, like, you know, honestly, you almost could have thrown that Masa onto a black mage for the time being.
Yeah, we definitely...
Because... Go ahead.
Yeah, because X-Cal, it does hit against weakness on a lot of enemies.
Yeah, and,
So I guess that bonus damage could be good until, you know, we get to, what, Tier 2?
yeah, I mean, it's plus 20 bonus damage from that X-Cal. So, it's a wash, really. Like, the Masa has a higher base, but that X-Cal bonus kind of evens everything up, so...
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean... you can go either way. You can throw them... You're probably not going to be swinging too often with the Black Mages unless you're just trying to conserve spell charges in case something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
In any case, so... Right now, Ganon's Gone Wild's got... about a 2-dungeon lead on Wildham. Once he clears out this Kraken. So... But, here's the thing. Again, it goes back to, does he remember he has the crown and never turned it in? Because if he doesn't, he has the crown and hasn't turned it in, he's gonna go to Ice Cave. Once he turns in this bottle and sees it's not his loot, he's gonna... Because I do not believe he's been to Ice Cave.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the crystal lit up on the tracker, so yeah. So that's gonna... It's not gonna cost him a lot of time, but it's gonna eat a little bit of his time, so...
Yeah.
Wildham's behind, but depending on what Ganon's Gone Wild does, he may be able to claw back a chunk of that time.
Alright, where are we flying to?
Well, we're gonna go turn in this bottle.
Yeah.
It's the sensible move here. So, this does at least swing the gear advantage back to Ganon's Gone Wild, unless Wild... Wow, I just realized that both these runners can have their names shortened to Wild. That just clicked.
Yeah, and also we just found in the top 4 chests in Sky, we found Sun +4.
I don't hate it. You can throw that on the ninja, like, you can throw that,
Yeah, we haven't seen a katana yet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Well, I mean, you're gonna throw that Vorpal on the ninja if you have that X-Cal, but... I don't know. With Wild having Dan the Thief for a little while, he may be inclined to throw the Vorpal on the Knight, but... In any case, what I was saying, though, is... Wild is probably not gonna find that bottle. Like, by the time he gets there, he's going to know all of his options. But Ganon's Gone Wild is gearing up to go into the volcano.
I think what's really gonna set this is where Ganon goes after this.
I'm gonna go ahead and say he's gonna do Ice Cave. Even if by this point he remembers he hasn't done the crown, he's right here, and it's not that long a check. He at least he has both of his loose, though.
Yeah.
But... So...
Wildham's on the bridge. I think Wildham's on a different part of the encounter table.
Yeah, Gan's Gone Wild has been burning the first, like, 5 fights. Or probably more like 2 or 3 fights. And going in with a massive hero run. Where Wildham has been just going in off of power cycles. So, they're probably also going to have completely different Tophers. Which, that could come into the equation too. And that is a lock gauntlet.
That could be useful.
Wildham tossing those Brax out. Going ahead and getting that Knight rused up. Throwing heal pots with the Thief. That is a choice. That is very much a choice.
And now we're trying to Bane Tiamat.
It can work, and it does.
That
Poison Smoke terminated. Alright, so Wildham's got his good party members up in the high teens. Gan's Gone Wild, I believe, probably close to the low, probably more in the low 20s. Because he did a couple of those eye grinds, but he, you know, didn't do them for very long, and Wildham's been taking a lot of fights, so if I had to take a guess... But yeah, Wildham not respecting carry. Alright. Or not Wildham. Ganon's Gone Wild not respecting carry, but getting all 4 orbs lit. So, he's in his 20s. So...
Oh, where are we going?
I have to assume he's going to go back and kill some eyes.
I think so. Oh...
No, he remembers. Alright.
Would it have been faster before I left?
I don't think it mattered. I don't
Probably
think it
not.
mattered.
Maybe a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Chat right pointing out that, yeah, Gan did take a long way.
Yeah. Alright, so this will put Gan's Gone Wild in go mode. The big thing is... Alright, so I'm just kind of thinking through his equipment situation. He doesn't have that dragon armor, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
He's got 1 ribbon. He doesn't have the Aegis.
So the ribbon's probably going to be on the fighter.
Yeah, ribbon's gonna... Yeah, there's no one else that you need to protect more. He doesn't have a healer.
And it looks like we are going to take a bit of a grind.
Yeah, this is probably going to be getting the fighter to level 24, 25, possibly level 26, because anything except the Vorpal that you're swinging... Oh yeah, no, he is straight up going to Dan, or try to Dan these characters, and I don't know if this eye can actually do what he needs it to do.
I don't know if it can either. It's an eye. The eye... Wasn't there a pack of Sphinxes on the other tile?
There was, and that's where he's going. Alright.
I'm surprised I remembered exactly what it was.
So, I'm gonna... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, Gan's Gone Wild is a much better runner than I am.
Oh, definitely better than I am, too.
I am not sure I agree with trying to Dan your party right now. Because here's the thing. You don't have... Your healing in Temple of Fiends at this point is...
Heal pots.
Heal pots, a heal 2 axe, and I think we found a cure... I think we have the cure 2 hammer, too.
Something with cure 2.
And that's it. Yeah. You do not have healing. Like, you can go back to Provoca and get heal 2 on your fighter. So... You need every drop of magic defense and HP you can get on these characters. Because you can't pick them up if they go down. Yeah. You don't have anything to protect them, really.
Mm-hmm. Actually...
Go ahead.
I feel like I wouldn't be taking the grind here. I would be seeing what we can find on... What is it? 3rd floor of Topher? Yeah, the one. See how common the gas dragons are, because we do have Ice 3.
It looks like Ganon's Gone Wild has decided that he was wasting too much time trying to down these characters, and I think that this is the better move.
Yeah.
And yeah, to answer the question, chat, in case you kind of got lost in that whole thing, the only healing spell we have access to is Heal 2, which is at level 2 magic. It looks like that's where Ganon's Gone Wild is going, is to... Or no, he might be just going to go save and go on in. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation we're in right now, is... every level you can hang on everyone who's not the fighter is a good level. And wildham does... yeah, the Maza -2 is still way better than the Ice +3. You have to bear in mind, the Maza has a +50 or so attack, and a minus only takes 3 off your attack. So that Maza is still the best sword in the game, in terms of raw power. It has no crit at all. Like, I think it has, like, what? 2% crit chance? Or something like that, and its hit percent bonus isn't great, but, yeah, long story short, the Ice +3, has outlived its usefulness, between all the other stuff we found. Like, the Sun +4 obsoleted it mostly. Alright, so Ganon's Gone Wild is going into Temple of Fiends, and this is where the rubber meets the road.
It looks like we're going down. We're going for it.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing. I don't hate this going ahead and making an expedition dive.
Yeah.
Because if it turns out this is a paper for Temple of Fiends, then...
Well, then you've done it.
You know, this is... Yeah, then you've won. Then you are the champion if you're in Ganon's Gone Wild shoes. If it's not paper, I mean, you already know where your grind is.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and scout if there's any good grinds on the way down.
Yeah. I mean, one good nuke roll, and this party goes to basically being a one-man show.
Yeah.
But that's the risk we have.
Bunchmano, it's one of those things. Ganon's Gone Wild has most of the same gear, but not entirely. I'm not crazy. Wildham has dragon armor and an Aegis shield that Ganon's Gone Wild did not pick up.
Oh, and meanwhile, Lich just got exiled to the 4th dimension. Zapping Lich too, okay.
Gonna go ahead and pick up Warp. It looked like for the ninja, but maybe changed his mind.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we're on carry too.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Ganon's Gone Wild, basically his safety here is if everything goes down really quickly to his party, which
that was a nuke and everyone lived.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
That's lucky. The main thing is, that's gonna chew into a lot of his healing.
Yes, a lot.
Like that right there is gonna eat about a third of his health pots to get everyone patched back up.
Good news is the fighter didn't take that much damage, which would have been the real heal pot sink.
Yeah. So basically, he needs Kraken to be gentle.
When is Kraken? Oh, unrunnable waters. Ice 3. Good thing we have it.
Yeah. I mean, again, the problem is waters hit hard.
Yes.
Every single punch that Ganon's Gone Wild is taking right now is chewing into his lifeline. And here's the thing. He needs to be at full strength going into Chaos.
Yeah.
Like, unless this is the wussiest Chaos ever, you don't want to be facing the... I don't think Gan's Gone Wild saw that ribbon.
No, I don't think so either. No, the real question is, would it have been worth it to go pick up real quick Ice 3 on the Ninja? Just to have an extra forecast, just in case, you know, those unrunnable waters.
Well, I don't think that we've gotten enough levels after class change to even get a couple of shots. But
Yeah, that would have been. Oh, well, that poor black mage just got rubbed.
Yep.
We're gonna try to stop cracking too. I mean, wow, that cracking was paper. Here, there, we just chopped it really hard.
Yeah, we're swinging a +4 Vorpal with a Ninja. That's gonna do some work.
Yeah, as well as a -2 Maza. Yeah, this. Ooh.
So he's gonna go ahead and start throwing ruses and fasts out there. Gonna try and just tear through this Tia. That is not the kind of damage you want to see.
No, not really.
He's gonna go ahead and throw some damage out there. That's more like... actually, no, it was like 4 for 198, wasn't it?
I think that was from the... I think that might have been from the Maza, though.
No, that's the Vorpal he's swinging.
Oh, Vorpal just being a Vorpal?
Well, I think this is just a very beefy Tia. Like, crits will... Like, even for all the damage crits put out, an opponent's armor still does matter for the overall damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, 'cause it doesn't... I could be wrong.
Yeah, he is... Ganon's Gone Wild now really needing to heal up that Ninja. Another good hit from Tia could spell trouble, but he gets through it.
Yeah.
But he is going to need to heal up.
How many heal pots are we?
He's at 40. So
okay, we have enough.
He's got enough unless we see something mean before we hit to the stairs, and we don't. Alright, so he'll be able to heal up his 3 characters. So, this is for all the marbles. If Gan's Gone Wild...
Switching the Vorpal over.
Yeah. Puts that knight in at least the 2nd slot, trying to protect him a little bit, recognizing that Black Mage has to stay alive long enough to buff these 2.
Or at least the fighter.
Yeah, Lit 3 comes out, Fast comes out, Ruse Stick going up. 2nd round, we got Cure going down to keep that fighter's health up. Ruse Stick comes out again. And Stop goes out, no one gets paralyzed. We got Sabers now going up on the Knight. Gan's Gone Wild taking no chances.
Wait,
2 coming up.
I'm guessing that Black Mage doesn't have like anything else it can do of value.
Yeah, he's just going to go and wait on the Black Mage. I think it's the 3rd layer of Saber. Black Mage goes down to a Fire 3. That Ninja now exists solely to throw Cure 2s onto the fighter or locks onto Chaos. Thunder drops, that ribbon comes into play. 8 hits for 800 damage. Chaos is going to need to throw out something nasty real quick, or this is going to be Ganon's Gone Wild's game to win. Wait on the Ninja. The other swing Chaos is still standing. The Ninja is not. Zap comes out, does not 3 and 256. Chaos is dead, and Ganon's Gone Wild has won the tournament.
GG's.
Yeah, get those GG's in chat. And we will get our champ in here. Hopefully. Hopefully he remembers you are on RPG Limit Break and he just needs to come jump in the booth.
He might need a minute, though.
He's had 10!
True. We are 10 minutes in the past. Oh,
there we go. GGW.
Thanks, man.
GG's.
Alright. So the burning question on my mind. Did you forget about the crown?
Yeah, I did. I forgot about it until I turned in the bottle and I was like, wait a minute. I saw the crown and I was like, there's something not adding up here. And then, yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things, we weren't sure until, like, after you did Volcano whether or not, like, we were thinking you might go to Ice Cave before you go to before you actually remembered, but we were wondering when you remembered it. But I mean, it didn't hurt you too bad in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I was able to find both loose pretty quickly, so I didn't have to open many chests in this one. I was able to skip most, or pretty much all of Volcano, so it definitely was helpful. And I had a lot of gear pretty early, so I didn't feel the need to dig out much in Sky.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of the choices you made. All right? So you made a very early Ordeals play. Is that your usual approach when you've got, an early airship to just go ahead and knock out Ordeals, or
Well,
was it more of just like, I don't really have anywhere else to go?
so last race I did like the opposite kind of thing. I went to Sarda, and then I basically just stayed kind of in that like east-west area, just going back and forth between like Earth and like ice and stuff, and it didn't really work out too well. And I ended up doing Volcano, and I just got nothing done for like 10 minutes. So I saw that Wildham did like kind of the opposite. He just went immediately to Cardia, got some ribbons, and then like did stuff over there. So I just was like trying to maybe match what he might do in this one. So I went to Cardia instead, and I was like, okay, great. He's probably got that loose key too, pretty early, I'm guessing. So I was basically right next to Ordeals, and I already have Warp, so it's pretty the fastest it's gonna get. So
Yeah, Ordeals was really the first point of divergence. Like, if your plan was to sort of just try and match route with Wild, you did actually do a pretty good job of it. Just cutting real quick back over to Wild, he did catch the bad end of that nuke from Carry, and is down to his fighter and one of his black mages. But I think he still is going to be able to pull through this. We didn't see too much danger out of the rest of these fights.
A lot of lit too is in his future.
Yeah, like his biggest disadvantage is just the fact that he doesn't have that saber gauntlet. But he does have 2 ribbons. Turns out there was a ribbon in that in one of those rooms in Volcano you checked. You just didn't check the box the ribbon was in, I think.
Yeah, I was only doing like the ultra greed checks at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't even bothered at that point, but I was pretty nervous and just kind of like fumbling around.
Oh, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay, so Kraken had nuclear.
and crack.
That's fine. We got 2 ribbons.
Yep, that nuclear
No one cares
really
about that.
Yeah,
So-
no one cares about it until it goes through the ribbon.
So one thing I found interesting, Ganon, is jumping back to you. The way you kind of handled your leveling, where you found that eye tile and kind of just, all right, I'm going to pick up enough levels to get through the next few dungeons, leave, come back later, pick up the levels I need for the next few dungeons, leave, come back later, do one more push, and then go on my merry way. Was that a strategy you had in mind coming into this, or was this sort of well, this eye's really convenient, and, I mean, it's a fighter black mage thief joint here?
Yeah, normally doing like a standing grind with like your whole party up is not very efficient because you're actually not getting that much experience per fight. But the problem with the seed was your magic was like pretty terrible.
Early.
So I really just wanted to I wanted to get some levels, and then the walking grind was very difficult to do in Sky and Sea because Brack and Ice 3 shared the same level, and the only other sweeper I had was like Lit 2, which is garbage. So I felt like this was probably the most efficient way I could get levels in this seed, just to have to like keep coming back to that, and basically I just grinded enough levels to hope to be able to get through Sky and Sea at that. That's what I used it for.
Work. Wild did take more of a walking grind. Speaking of whom, though, let's take a moment to see how he's going to get through this. So, Chaos immediately throws out that Thunder, but again, we've got 2 ribbons, so fast Ruse come up. We're not going to be seeing any saber stacking out of Wildham because he did not find that bottle. we are going to see some locks potentially. Also, Invis, and oh, Chaos has nuclear. That's good to know. 4 hits for 230 something damage. Not great, but the Black Mage at least lives long enough to throw some Heal 2 axes out. That was, what, 8 hits for about 400? So Wild's going to have a little bit of a longer fight. I think it took you, what, 3 hits to bring this Chaos down? It looks like Wild's swinging for about half the damage that you did, Ganon, so we're probably looking at about 6 swings to drop this Chaos, and we know his magic's not really a threat. It's going to be those skills coming back around, especially that nuclear.
Yeah.
And he does have the possibility of a second nuclear popping into play here, because I believe there are 3 nuclears in the pool.
There
There's
should be
an
4, actually.
You're right, but there. Anyway, that is Inferno. Chaos will have 1 more skill to throw out there, and so he has double thunder. It looks like.
That Heal 2 axe is putting in work.
Yep.
Oh, no,
unfortunately, that's the end of it. But he should be on his last leg here. Like, this fighter should only need to get another couple swings in here, but we are getting close to it. That's 126.
Yeah.
Not do the job, but 473 is, and Wildham is going to finish at 108.19. What were you going to say, though?
I was gonna say, yeah, we just got hope, like the Thunder and the Inferno probably won't take it down. We just got hope that the skill list doesn't loop a 3rd time.
Yeah.
Else then he would have been in trouble.
But yeah, so go ahead and get those GGs in chat for Wildham, who is going to be the runner-up in this spring tournament, and may need to be dragged into the booth by someone. There we go. Wildham, GG.
Thank you, GG. GG, ganonsgonewild.
Thanks, man. Yeah, GG, dude. Definitely had a great tournament run as well. So, definitely felt like it's pretty tough to get through this. But yeah, GG's, man.
Yeah, we were talking a little. Well, I guess you saw the end of the race since that was 10 minutes ago. So you overheard. I mean, I don't know if you did pull up the stream or not.
I wasn't actually listening, but I did
Yeah.
pull it up.
Well, I mean, I was saying that to Wildham.
Oh.
Because yeah, we were talking a little bit about Ganon's strategy in this race. Like y'all were basically following the same route for quite a while. I think the point of divergence. I think Ganon, when you went to Ordeals and then on to Earth, Wild, I believe that was when you went to the on-rack area.
Lefane, I think, first.
Well, yeah. So the the first big point of divergence, honestly, Ganon, you went into Gaia when you went to Lefane. Wildham, you didn't, and I'm guessing that's because you wanted to wait until you had the bottle to go in there.
Yeah, pretty much, and that was a mistake.
I mean, it really wasn't that costly overall. The big thing that worked out for Ganon is he found an eye tile in the Hall of Giants.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
thought about checking the tile, but yeah.
yeah, well, and I mean the thing is he had the reason to go into Earth Cave early because of the rod. So I guess maybe it was a little bit, but yeah. So that was one big point of divergence early, was he was able to get down there, get that chime, make that sky play to pick up the tail, whereas you kind of had to take a bit of a longer route. You did have your loot a lot earlier because Gan's Gone Wild may or may not have forgotten the crown for a little while. I'm not going to besmirch our champion by pointing that out again. He's already heard it once. But yeah, so basically a lot of it kind of came down to he was able to take advantage of that Vorpal a little bit quicker. The thing is, though, Wild, you had several very interesting opportunities if the seed had landed a little bit differently. That ice plus 3 that you found in Ice Cave, um, Ganon, did you ever find the other ice plus 3?
Sword? No, I never found the ice sword.
Yeah. Or the sun plus 4? Yeah, like, if that tail had been, like, loose on, like, somewhere in Volcano, um, Wild, I think you may have, like, you would have had a marked advantage the way you kind of were checking treasures, just because you had the better pre-promotion gear, overall. Well, I mean, until we found that Masa, but, um, now you routed very very strongly. One of the big things that Gannon was telling us though is that you did he did deliberately like route to kind of match step with you so that like y'all maintained y'all didn't diverge for a long time. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of stuff and things. Okay, I do have a question because I think it was you, Wild, that went into waterfall with a dead thief.
Yeah. Uh,
Was
it was it just I thought my level were low, and it was very hard to gain level because the black mage is just terrible magic. Yeah,
yeah that
uh, for getting the encounters. So I just wanted to get a bit more level on my fighter as because yeah to get through a few dungeons from there.
yeah, and that was my question was if that was a deliberate choice or if like you just forgot to raise the thief and was just like, well, free experience for everyone else. Let's roll with it. Let's see. I did bring up the ice plus 3. So jumping back to Ice Cave. Was there any temptation in your mind to not go back down for that ice plus 3 and that invis shirt that you saw in Ice Cave when you took that wipe?
Um, what was the item in Ice Cave again? Was it the ruby?
uh,
The crystal.
yeah,
The
the
crystal,
crystal.
right. So yeah, well, yeah, because the crystal, it was a crystal, and didn't know where it was leading yet. So uh, no, no,
Yeah,
I thought I'd have to get the crystal, and then while I'm there, the ice tree sword was the best sword I had at this point, and invis shirt was pretty useful in the end.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It definitely worked out in your favor. It's more just like was there any thought in your mind of I'm wasting too much time going back down there? I just need to grab the crystal and just warp, 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 and leave.
I don't think I had enough warp charge anyway to get the full way out of there. So I had to work it out one way or the other.
All right. Yeah, I think you may have had enough. I think you were like level 10 or 12, like maybe level 10 when you got to ice.
Yeah, I had a
So,
charge to go back to the chest itself, but not to go out all the way.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's see. So, all right. Um so like I said, the point of divergence for y'all really was Gans Gone Wild went toward deals while you went over to the on-rack area. What was sort of your thinking there? Was it basically just a um were you kind of just thinking, well, there's two more item shops over here and I haven't seen vendor yet. I don't want to go into Gaia without the bottle. So I can check the two vendors, I can do waterfall and then maybe do C. Was that kind of where you were going with that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And what why didn't you go into C? Like you clear the waterfall, you get the uh I am checking our notes, the ruse stick. Um, and then you left. What were you like? Was it that encounter with the seafood party pack right before the robot that had you go, I'm not going to go into Sea Shrine right now? That is a silly place.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, it just I'm not very fond of sea usually, and I kind of if I have the place to check, I tend to just try to push it off later. Um, so so yeah, since I had other stuff to do before sea, I decided to not go there. And again, with the turbo spells with the black mage, it was a bit tricky at that point.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So jumping back to Gans Gone Wild. So we're getting down. We get down to the end game. You have go mode. You go back to Earth Cave for that one last hurrah with the eyes, and you try to kill off everyone who isn't wearing red, who isn't a fighter, um, or a knight, I guess. Um, what were you thinking there? Were you just going to try to get your knight up to like level 25 or 26?
I didn't have life, and I just I don't know. I haven't wiped yet this series in Topher, and I think I wiped in like literally every other series in the tournament in Topher at least one time. So I just was like pretty nervous about going in at level 20 across that party. Because I can't. It's pretty hard to get through with a solo like 500 HP fighter there. So I just kind of screwed up the danning process. I should have just went back into Volcano for like 20 seconds and made sure they both had 1 HP on the mage and the thief so that I could actually get them off. I was hoping to get the fighter to maybe like whatever it is, like 27, so I'd have another hit on the Vorpal, and then I'd have like another 150 HP or whatever, and then I'd feel pretty confident I could get through. But I mean, the Vorpal was pretty good, but the other swords are crap, and it's a little bit rough soloing like your way through Topher with a +4 Vorpal and like 500 HP. So I don't know. I just, if wildham beats me because of this grind, then so be it. But I totally just screwed up the grind, and I was like, well, I guess we'll just get a few levels on the black mage.
Hmm. It came in handy at the end.
Yeah, at the end,
Yeah,
ultimately did help a little bit.
yeah, and that was kind of where I was going with the question. And if you go back and watch the VOD, you'll hear me kind of talking about this, speculating about this a little bit. I I personally thought that it may have been you may have been better off just getting those levels on them to begin with, just because your healing consisted of a sack full of potions and an axe, um, and I think a very fancy hammer. So it was one of those things where you did kind of have a situation where every level on any of your characters, even if you didn't necessarily hit that Vorpal breakpoint, um, it contributed to the longevity of your party. So your reasoning there was more just like, I'd rather try to win the rocket tag than maybe win a battle of attrition.
Yeah, I mean, I managed to skip ice. So if he did ice, then I have a little bit of time probably, and I think like things were going pretty smoothly, and I was on a pretty fast pace. So I think I had a little bit of time, hopefully. But yeah, if he was like gonna sub one that, then yeah, I guess I would have lost. But I don't know. I felt I had a little bit of time, so
Yeah.
why chance it?
Yeah, and I mean it like I said, it worked out to be the right move in the end, just because that Temple of Fiends, like, it wasn't the nastiest, but without really any healing. It had just enough rudeness to where you needed basically every level you had. And that goes for both of you. Like, that was a really good chaos fight on your end, Wild.
Yeah, that Vorpal +4 did a lot of work, and the L2 axe was quite useful.
Yeah, you had exactly enough of what you needed to get through that fight. Yeah, Ganon, I think your chaos did a lot more of his spell list than his skill list.
Yeah, I think it was like a bunch of like lit 2 garbage or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember everything that I saw, but yeah, it wasn't very I don't know. Basically, once I got a few bonks and fast up and a couple of ruse charges, is like you know, unless he's got like nuclear, like I'm probably just not gonna die with a ribbon. So
Yeah. But overall, no, this was a very good final. Um,
Hmm.
just though the overall series has been fantastic, and then to end it with this sort of um, what I feel like kind of was a good final exam for the two of you of just like, all right, you don't have a black belt, you don't have any healing. How good are you at killing things very efficiently? Because if you're not good at killing things very efficiently, you are going to die. And you both passed. Like you took a seed that had barely good enough magic, barely good enough gear, um, and both finished in under an hour and 10 minutes. Um, so, uh, trying to think if there's anything else I have to say. Well, I'm thinking, Shadow, do you have anything you wanna toss out there to both of these guys?
Well, other than eh, my my headset died for a second there. That's not good. But GG's to both of them. Amazing show. And yeah, you kind of asked all the questions I had in my head, so
Sorry, I kind of get carried away when I do these
it's
interviews.
fine. It's fine.
Uh, yeah.
But we've been talking for a bit, so we should probably start wrapping up.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, Wildham. Any final thoughts on the seed, the match with Gans Gone Wild, the tournament in general, life?
Uh, no, this tournament has been great, and when I started, I never imagined I would get to the finals. So I'm really, really happy to manage to get there. Um, and the tournament organizer did a really great job with the whole thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. GG again, against Wild. That was a great series.
yeah, thanks.
And speaking of you, Gans Gone Wild, congratulations! You are inscribed in the Hall of Giants. You are in the illustrious ranks of runners that people will probably be terrified of for years to come. Um, as is tradition when someone wins the spring tournament, because to get that far, you usually have to fight your way through some absolutely vicious opponents, and um, both of you had a vicious trail to get here. So, like, the fact that both of you, I think, are going to be people that are going to not be someone that's taken lightly ever again in this community, if you are ever taken lightly in the first place, which I don't think either of you ever have been, but people are going to be gunning for your heads. Just understand this. But yeah, all that being said, Gan's Gone Wild. You got any thoughts on all of this? The match, the seed, the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, like my goal coming in was just try to get top 8. I've been kind of confined to like the middle of like the tournament bracket for the last few tournaments I've done, and had like a pretty crazy series against Crab Cakes. And then yeah, I mean, Janigan could have been here instead of me. Like shout outs to him. He played terrifically, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make game 3 or the rest of the series, so he had to drop. But yeah, I mean, anybody in the top 8 really could have been here. Rando tournaments, you know, I've probably played like 20 rando tournaments over the last 5 years, and the last like few rounds is just, it really is just a big RNG fest. Everyone's pretty good. No one has a huge edge over anyone. So, you know, it really, like a lot of these races were very close in the last few rounds. So it goes to show you just the level of skill and the amount of luck you need to get here. So, anyway, but yeah, it was a good tournament. It was kind of a test of endurance towards the end. These races are pretty stressful and definitely felt a lot of pressure. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to come out with a win. But yeah, definitely big thanks to everyone in the community that helped make this possible. Especially the admins. Danny and Fizzle and Dark Moon in particular really did a lot of the heavy lifting for this tournament in particular. And all of the people like yourself, Woat, or Shadow Mr. T, JLo, all of the hate doing all these restreams and comms. Without you guys, the tournament doesn't run, and without the tournament, it's hard to recruit new people. So definitely big thanks to everyone that volunteered. And yeah, I think overall, I think the tournament was pretty well received. Wasn't perfect, never is gonna be, but yeah, I think it was a pretty successful tournament, and look forward to maybe fall league is the next time you'll see me around. So yeah, I think it was great. Thanks again for doing comms, guys.
No
Yep.
problem. But speaking of things that are going on, um, while we're here, we might as well do a little bit of a sit down and chat because right now we got a few things going on and coming up in the community, and we're here at the end of things, so we might as well do a little bit of community promotion. We do have our Duckling Boot Camp still going on. I think we're on what, week 4?
I can check that real quick.
All right, while you check
Actually,
that, we're
should be week 4.
yeah, we're somewhere in the middle of that. And for folks who don't know what that means, the Ducklings are what we call our novice players, folks who are just getting their feet wet in the community, paddling around in the pond, trying to understand, do I enjoy racing? What do I need to know to be able to race competitively? And we have a series of sort of asynchronous um, seeds, opportunities to try out different flag combinations to see sort of what you need to understand at a basic level to perform well in the community, like to perform well in a race setting. And when we are done with our boot camp, we are going to have our summer duck derby, which is a duckling only mini tournament that we have where you basically are only competing with other people who still consider themselves ducklings, and it's a very low pressure sort of situation. And if you've watched all of this and said to yourself, I'd like to get involved in this dumb stupid 8-bit game, uh links to Discord are there in chat. If you're watching this on VOD, Final Fantasy Randomizer.com will get you to us, and you can come right on in, jump into the duckling pond, see what you can do, try your stuff. If you don't feel like afterwards you're ready to jump out of the duckling pond, that's fine. We've got ducklings that have been in the pond for a few years. We've got tournament champions that still feel like ducklings. Isn't that right, Danny? She's wrong, but she can hear me, so I'm going to call her out by name. Um, but anyway, Shadow, you find it?
Yeah, it is week 4, but week 5 starts tomorrow.
Okay,
Actually,
whatever.
does it start tomorrow? It starts soon. Yeah, today's
But yeah,
Saturday. The preview will be tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, and I'll actually be here on RPG Limit Break at 9 p.m. Eastern. Um, and yeah,
I'm
if you
looking forward to the Derby.
yeah, and if you don't want to do any of that, you can still come join us and hang out. I mean, I don't race, and they let me do things for some stupid reason. But the other thing to talk about before we let RPG Limit Break have their channel back, we do have the Final Fantasy Random Marathon coming up on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month. And it is going to be in support of the Liam Foundation, a charity supporting the LGBTQIA plus community, and 100% of all proceeds raised will go to that charity. So it's going to be a 3-day festival of randomization. I believe we have a couple of community events that will be running all night long over that weekend, uh, concurrently with everything. So it's going to be a grand old time. Folks are going to be showing off some of their games that aren't Final Fantasy One Randomizer, and they'll be playing a Final Fantasy One Randomizer. So if that strikes your fancy, again, Discord's over there. We'll have links to everything if you want to check that out. Um, and I don't think there's anything else that we need to talk about at the moment. Can you all
Yeah,
think
not
any?
that. Nope.
All right. Then I believe with that, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you, Wildham, Gans Gone Wild. Shout out Mr. T. If you want to get the final word in edgewise, then Hate can get us out of here.
Well, we thanked him earlier, but we should probably thank both, Hate for doing the restream and JLo for tracking this amazing race.
Sounds
Other
good
than
to
that,
me.
I think he can see us on out.
All right. Hate, get us out of here.